this a good angle, you guys? Hopefully there aren't any cops around, because this is pretty questionable. So I just spent like $70 at the grocery store. I spent $70 in 30 minutes. I mean, I can spend considerably more in considerably less time, so it's actually quite impressive. You know, I'll eat all the stuff that I buy. I've been so much better about that. Mainly because, like, I'm buying my own food, you know. I have gotten so much better about not wasting money. Mainly, like, ever since I switched to, like, eating edibles. Now, I told you guys I've quit weed. But before I quit weed, I decided to, like, stop smoking it. Now, I lapsed on that a little bit, and I started smoking with people at work. And it's hard for me, when I have weed in my possession, it's really hard for me to not smoke it. You know? Because it's like, if I'm going to be high some of the day, I might as well be high, you know, all of the day. So, if I have it, I'm going to smoke it. Same with cigarettes, same with alcohol. I do everything pretty much the same, because I'm an addict. And when you're an addict, you don't really stop being an addict. Like, you still think that way. But when I switched to edibles, I noticed that it was harder for me to think that way, because I changed the way that I was using the product that I was using. And when I changed the way that I used the product, it changed the way that I thought about it. And I became less and less dependent on it. And I saw less and less of a reason to continue to use it. So, really, it was probably the best decision I've ever made. Are you sure about that? I'm sure that there are other good decisions you made that, you know, are up there. Yeah, well, it was a good decision. Let's just say that. It was a really good decision that I made. And it sort of allowed me to, like, wean myself off of weed. Like, that's not to say that I'll never smoke weed again. Who the fuck knows? Like, I don't know if I'll never drink again. Hopefully I won't, because I know that if I do, it won't go over well. But it's like, people that drink excessively. Sorry, I just saw a police officer. So now I'm, like, paranoid. I'm like, oh no, did he see me with this camera? Shit. Luckily though, there's, like, a gas station. So if he started following me, I could just, like, whip into this little gas station up here and be like, what are you gonna do, 5-0? You ain't got shit on me. Cause I ain't got shit on me. Ha 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 ha. Anyway. Not yet. Anyway. Not yet. But so this is hurting my arm holding this camera, but that's how much I love y'all. What was I saying? What was I saying? What was I saying? I don't know. Yeah, so I don't fuck with weed anymore. But, I do still, like, get the pleasure of inhaling THC vapor and getting high off that shit. Not Not really intentionally either. Just, I mean, it happens. If you're in the house, you're gonna fucking smell that shit, and there's really nothing you can do but leave the house. That's like a nice little treat to myself. But it's the weirdest thing, because, like, I don't even miss it, you know? Like, I don't miss doing something that I did every day, all day for fucking years. Mainly because, like, I know what that experience is. It's not like that experience is going to change. In fact, in addiction, whenever you're addicted to something, you tell yourself, what am I going to do? What am I going to do if I don't drink anymore? All I do is sit in the house and yell and wake up in urine. What am I going to do? What am I going to do if I stop smoking weed? All I do is sit in the house and yell and... Weed didn't help me stop doing that, you guys. Like, it might have given me, like, a more, like, optimistic way of looking at things. Like, I think that that's why I liked it so much. And I think that it has that capacity to do that for people, but not so much now, because if they're spraying all these pesticides on it that make people commit violent acts, and if you don't know about that, you should look that shit up. That's not a scare tactic. Like, that's actually happening. Like, people are committing acts of violence after they've smoked weed. But I just think it's because people don't have self-awareness. If they have self-awareness, it shouldn't be a problem. But since that's severely lacking for a lot of people in society, it's no surprise that they smoke weed, it freaks them out, and they do something crazy. I mean, that shit's been happening in relation to, like, psychiatric drugs. A lot of the people that commit these violent acts don't have any recollection of their crime. It's like they're dreaming or some shit. See, I told my parents, because I was on crazy meds for a little while. Like, they put me on crazy meds when I was in the 7th grade. 7th or 8th grade. One of the two. I was, like, cutting myself. So they put me on this SSRI called Zoloft. I've been on Zoloft, Lexapro, Wellbutrin, more like UNwell Butrin. I should come up with, like, spoofs for all these fucking meds. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? There's so many. What a challenge. Chantix, more like Cantix. Can't quit smoking on my own. No, man, if it works for you, it works for you. Like, if you're on something and you think that it works, don't stop taking it just because, you know, you listen to some crazy bitch talking shit in the garage. You know, I would say, figure it out. Like, my issue is so many people don't want to figure it out on their own. They just rely on other people to tell them what to do. And it's like, it's your life. It's your life. It's your head. And you're letting other people dictate the decisions that could negatively impact your psyche, your life decisions, your ability to masturbate and get off, you know? I mean, that would be my concern. But I mean, I talk to people like, okay, so one of my old boyfriends, like, he was on effexor. I've never been on effexor. That's another SSRI. I think, actually no, effexor might be an anti-anxiety medication. I'll have to check on that. But it's one of the two, though. I think it's an SSRI though, because like the main problem that people have with the SSRIs is that, you know, they you know, stop being a human. And so he couldn't come. I don't know if I've talked about him before. I'm not going to do a shout out to him because fuck that piece of shit. No, I don't have any issue with him. I just think that he's very troubled and he uses younger gals to try to sort of like mask his issues. I think a lot of people do that, where they like have obvious psychological problems and they just like hook up with somebody that has obvious psychological problems as well, and that person might be dealing with them better. Because I know there's a reason why he was so attracted to me. But it's just like the problem is that people just rely on doctors, or they rely on somebody else to take care of them. Fuck that shit. Now, I know he'd go off his medication and then we'd have like really good sex and then he'd like break something. And then he'd be like, no, I didn't go off my medication. I know that I just like smashed a fan into a bunch of pieces on the floor, but you know, no, I didn't stop taking my medication. I'm like, stop lying to me, baby. Stop lying. This is a guy that tried to fuck me in the ass after I told him that I don't do that shit. Should have stolen his motherfucking rabbit. Ha ha ha, you can't be a magician anymore, you piece of shit. Can't fool me. Oh, but really, I think a lot of people, I don't think that this is just a thing that dudes do. I think that women do this too, they just do it in a different way. I think that men manipulate through the bedroom, women manipulate through the pocketbook. So it's like men think that women are meant for sex, and women think that men are meant to buy them shit and listen to all of their stupid little problems. But I mean, both sides of this are wrong. Like, you need to have somebody that listens to you, but look at this piece of sausage, man. Did you see the size of it yesterday? Oh my goodness, it was way bigger. Still need to eat these avocados. I love avocados, by the way. I could eat like 2 whole avocados back to back. But yeah, it's like men and women need to listen to each other, and that's something they refuse to do. And I feel like all these stupid movements have just made the problem worse. Social media makes everything worse. Because like if you have that option, you're not actually going to deal with the problem. Which is why I don't support the Me Too movement at all. So for those of you that are like, well, you should support it because it supports women. Fuck you. Fuck you. You have no idea what this has actually done to communication. Okay? People aren't talking about things in a better way. They're just talking about them in a way that constantly puts men down. I'm not in favor of that shit. Especially if the dude didn't do anything wrong and the woman's a lying sack of shit. Okay? Like, that's not acceptable. It's not acceptable to take advantage of people. It's not acceptable to be a lying sack of shit. I don't care what your gender is. I don't care what your race is. I don't care what your age is. There's no fucking excuse for that shit. And the only reason why people go along with this crap is because, oh, it's politically correct. It's not because they care about women, victims, children, any of these people. They don't care about the issues because the issues they want to talk about in the media are never the actual issues. So, the issue is communication. Or lack thereof, I guess I should say. But get them to see that. Not that there weren't good intentions. I think that Tarana Burke had great intentions when she did that. Shout out to you, Tarana. I know you're probably not watching this and you probably disagree with everything else I have to say, but I think that what you tried to do back in 2006 was a good thing. But leave it to Hollywood to fuck everything up. That's what's sad about it, you know? It's like, here's this woman, like, trying to legitimately help people, and then here's this other woman who only cares about herself and is an opportunist piece of fucking garbage that deserves to be run over by a truck. And then if she's still alive, she deserves to be run over by another fucking truck. Fuck that bitch. And she's married to a talent agent. But, yeah, it's like, there are all these problems in Hollywood with, like, pedophilia and people with money and power and title taking advantage of people that don't have money and power and title. Imagine that. Bureaucrats, Hollywood, movie stars, directors, producers, talent agents, lawyers. Look at fucking Michael Avenatti. Come on. Oh my God. Oh my God. Like, I could just look at that motherfucker for like a millisecond and know that he's a total sleazeball. And it was so funny, like, the chick that they were trying to use to take down Trump, she was being used by her fucking lawyer. Isn't that funny? I think it's funny. The truth will always be revealed at some point, you guys. That's why you should never, ever, ever, under any circumstance, lie. Even if it makes sense to lie at the time, don't fucking do it. Because then you're going to have to, like, cover your tracks. You're going to have to explain yourself later. A lot of times you can't. And that's the thing. Like, if you're telling the truth, first of all, that's the right thing to do. So if you're telling the truth in the eyes of God, now, many of you probably don't believe in God, that's fine. You might pay for this sentiment in hell, but don't listen to me. Listen to your heart. No, but really, I don't think that, oh, you don't believe in God, it means you're going to hell. Like, personally, I mean, if Christopher Hitchens is in hell, I will be very upset because I really want to hang out with him. Maybe I could do like a What Dreams May Come kind of thing where I could just like take a little trip down to hell and I could like hang out with all the really cool people down there, you know, because I'm sure there are a lot of them. But here's the thing, I don't think Christopher Hitchens would want to go to heaven. Like, if he's like wrong about everything, I mean, I don't think I could save him. But like, if somebody tried to save him, he'd be like, fuck you, you know? God, I love him. He's great. He's said a lot of things that I completely agree with. Even though he was like in the Labour Party and all that. I'm just trying to forgive that. But you guys like almonds? These were actually really cheap. Like, nuts are so expensive. Like, I was looking in the nut section and it just like a container of nuts, it's like this fucking big. It's like $7. But here's the thing with almonds. See, it says right here. Ingredients. Almonds. Contains almonds. Packaged in a facility that also packages other tree nuts, wheat, milk, soy, and fish. Like, all these other almonds, though, are like, they've added like vegetable oil to it and shit. I'm like, why? Why? Why can't you just contain nothing but almonds? Anyway, I got some beef. Got some beef. You want to see it? You want to see this beef? I know you do. Where the fuck is it? Oh, it's right there. Okay. See, I was gonna get like, this was like the middle of the road. They had some with more fat, and I said, no, don't do that. And then they had some with less fat, and I was like, don't be lame. So this was like the middle of the road. Beef. Beef. You were so dumb. But see, I also got this like organic spinach. You know, the first time I ever did comedy at the East Room, I got compared to Maria Bamford. Because, you know, I can do that.
crazy voice that she does all the time everywhere she goes. But,
it's easy to compare me to Bamford because, you know, I'm obviously mentally ill. But I go, like, the complete opposite route that she does. Like, I don't think that she plays the victim. I just know that she's on crazy meds. She's very, very funny, though. She's very funny. I think she's, like, the only good, like, female comic aside from, like, Joan Rivers. But Joan Rivers is, unfortunately. She shouldn't have joked about the Obamas. Yeah, so... Possibly, maybe, who's that other chick? The one that's, like, real deadpan. Carolyn Murphy, I think is her name. Like, she talks like this. She's very dark. She's very, very monotone. She's the one with, like, the crazy curly hair. The thing is, though, it's like they're all on the left. So when you're on the left, like, I don't think Joan Rivers was. I mean, Joan Rivers was talking about how smart the Donald was. Like, she was talking about that, like, a few years ago. When she met him on The Apprentice, and she was like, he's so smart. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Joan Rivers was fucking hilarious. Like, I have just gotten into Joan Rivers, and I am just blown away by the fact that it's taken me this long to get into Joan Rivers. Shout out to you, Joan, in the clouds. Like, she said one of the coolest things, like, they were trying to force her to apologize for some joke that she made about the Holocaust. Like, she made a joke about some, like, I think Heidi Klum, she made a joke about her, and she was, like, saying that she hadn't seen a German so hot since, like, they were putting, like, Jews into the ovens or some shit. And, like, people were trying to make her apologize for that joke. And she was like, no, I'm Jewish. Like, I joke about these things because I want people to remember that the Holocaust happened. And, I mean, that's just so awesome. I mean, that's why I joke, too. That's why I joke about the fucked up shit that I joke about. And that's what it's all about, folks. That's what it's all about. You talk about stuff that you wish people would think about more. And if you use humor, that's, like, the best possible way to do it. So that not only do they, you know, get it into their heads, but it's like, okay, I'm not going to feel so bad about this. Now, certain people feel bad for laughing about stuff, but, like, that's the art form, to make people uncomfortable. But anyway, love you, Joan. It says I only have like 3 minutes left. I think that's like 3 minutes of like battery life. Or maybe it's 3 minutes of talkie left for me. Can't talk anymore. I don't know. I gotta analyze these videos and then put them up. Because I have like a bunch of them to watch now. That's what I try to do, like, just do a bunch of videos. Then I gotta watch a bunch of videos, and then I put up a bunch of videos. But I'm hilarious, so it's not that hard to watch these videos because, like, I'm just so great. But I know I'm a piece of shit. You don't have to tell me. But like, it's cool because, like, I usually, like, the last time that I made edibles, I was just like watching my videos and critiquing them and stuff. So I'll just multitask out the ass. Always get a bunch of shit done. Bye bye. Hey, say hi. Say hi, Arlo. Say hi, Arlo, before we have to go. Say hi. 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 Meow. Meow. Why would you talk to me? You fucking bitch. Oh, hey. Hey, you say hi. Paisley. Paisley. She's like, fuck you, cunt sore. I only talk when I want to talk. Feminists, like I said. Bye. No, really. Bye.